Damn, Perk did this?
I don't need no one to save me. I was born to be the greatest. All that time in that basement, all that time isn't wasted. Rapping getting faded. I just wanna tell my mom that I made it. Just wanna be the topic of the conversation. Used to rock the gold plated. Now I'm wearing gold chains like I'm famous.
So what would you say are the potential watch outs for teaching, for teaching game, and then what are the wins? So what's the good and what's the bad?
Mm-hmm. I say this: the good really is about game, and this is what a lot of people misunderstand. A lot of people think game is just like a thing to like go pick up girls and all that other stuff, right? That could be part of it within the entire game, but I always tell guys the game is about them. It's about you. So this is why, and this is where people get it misconstrued. So in any facet of your life, whether it's dealing with women, dealing with money, dealing with your health, dealing with any type of situation you're in, right? Game is just checking in with yourself to figure out what you need to do to get a goal accomplished. And then so if you say, okay, well, I want these type of women, or I want this to go down with women, how do I get that? If I want this type of money, how do I get this money? If I want this type of situation in my life, how do I do that? So that's the good part about it. The bad part about it really is when guys think that they can cheat the game, and there's no way to cheat the game. So for example, if let's say a person wants to get fit, right? You have to go to the gym, you have to eat right? Even if you tried to cheat and like get liposuction or whatever, you're still the type of person who doesn't know how to eat right and know how to go to the gym. So what's going to happen is you're going to get fat all over again. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens when you try to cheat the game, is that you don't actually put in the work required to get the actual results you want to get. So that's the bad part about it, when people like to cheat the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? It's impossible.
Gotcha. Right. Okay. And so the potential pitfalls of what you're coaching.
So basically the pitfalls is really, again, like it's trying to cheat it. Like if you're actually, right. So that's what I'm saying. Like if you're actually doing what needs to be done in order to get what you want to get, then there are no pitfalls, because you've actually worked for it. The pitfalls, right. So what I'm saying is like, it's like when you're working on yourself, you're becoming the guy who's able to get the thing that you want. When you're not working on it and you're trying to find little ways to cheat on it or to cheat, what happens is you don't become the guy, so then you can't maintain it. So for example, let's say you meet a girl that you're really interested in, right? Mm-hmm. And if you're a guy who's worked on himself and who has tight game and who's confident and who knows how to deal with women, you'll be able to maintain that woman for years. Now, if you cheat the game, you're going to meet this girl you really like, and then you'll get her for a while, and you'll lose her really quickly. Or if you keep her around, what's going to happen is you probably have a terrible relationship because you don't know how to maintain the situation. She might be taking advantage of you. She might be running the relationship, and you're going to be miserable. This is why you see situations where guys talk about, oh, my girl been tripping. She been cursing me out. She's acting funny style. Or you hear guys in marriages and they're like, man, I haven't had sex in like a month and I got to sleep on the couch. That happens when dudes try to cheat the game. So when that's the pitfall, is every time you cheat the game is going to show you through all of these negative experiences why you shouldn't be cheating the game. That's basically what it is.
And we're going to go into the game theory here. All right. And then let me know when you're able to see it.
Yeah, you can see it. You good.
Okay.
Everybody has game. The thing is, though, is your game weak or is your game strong? See, that's the difference. See, having weak game is synonymous with having no game. But you have game, you have a strategy to get what you want, but your strategy might be weak.
I always tell these guys, snap your fingers. And I'll tell them, snap your fingers. Like, you hear that sound? I'm like, what is that sound? Bitch, that's a 17-year-old that just turned 18. That's a 19-year-old that just turned 21. They are just, they're everywhere.
Hi, how you doing? You think I give a fuck about how you doing, bitch? All I want you to motherfucking do is open your mouth and say something so I can hear how your voice sounds so it can tell me how the fuck to get at you.
Your feelings are not facts. Because you feel like whatever you feel like, you can't get me to believe that there's more than two genders. You understand what I'm saying? And truthfully, I'm not sorry because I can't really make facts out of your fucking feelings. Matter of fact, fuck your feelings. There's only two genders. Only two genders. You trying to tell me that genders are neutral and niggas is trying to come up with 92 fucking genders, bro.
There's this narrative now that it's okay for a man to cry, and it's really pushing this sensitivity, express yourself, express your feelings. One thing I've always respected about my father growing up, I never seen my dad cry. Me and him would get into arguments, we would go at it, we would fight. I would say the harshest things to him I could to hurt his feelings, but I never broke him.
Shoot, just the right pair of shoes get your dick sucked. Just the right pair of shoes. Women don't, seriously, you could look like Boris Cujo, you'd be 6'8", you know, have a print down to your knee. They look at those shoes, they bust, they just like, oh no, not him. Nah, but the bitches shine.
Hold on. That was funny when he mentioned about the shoes. I have to agree with that. Like there are some, there are some guys that like their outfit would be, their outfit, like the dress and everything, you know what I mean? Not judging. I don't judge men, but what I'm saying is that like it's a cool looking outfit, but then like the shoes either don't match or the shoes look worn, right? Or, like it just throws everything off. And shoes do make the outfit. Another thing I wanted to kind of go back into, there was one brother, he was talking about how like he would go at it with his father, he would say some harsh things and he never saw his father cry. So do you believe that keeping emotions in check is extremely beneficial? Do you believe that that's part of the game, or do you just kind of break that down if you don't mind?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, that's definitely part of the game as far as keeping emotions in check. I don't necessarily think that you can't cry, but you can't be a crybaby. And so the difference between that meaning is that like if you're the type of guy who's extremely emotional and who's like, all over the place when it comes to your emotions, where you can't handle yourself, because if you can't handle yourself, then you're not going to be able to handle a relationship. Because and this is why it's so important to keep your emotions in check, because in order for you to effectively have a good relationship with a woman that actually runs smoothly, you have to keep your emotions in check, because you have to manage your emotions and her emotions simultaneously. You see what I'm saying? So women generally don't keep their emotions in check, because they're just, they're just going based off of how they feel and they just go at it, right? But you as a man, you need to learn how to keep your emotions in check so that you can manage your emotions and her emotions for the relationship to run smoothly, because you're the leader. So it's definitely important. It's not to say you can't, you're going to have emotions regardless, because you're a human being. But the thing is that you need to learn how to keep them in check so that you're able to effectively lead and effectively guide the situation in the relationship. Because if you can't, then, it ain't going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, cool. And I won't go into the whole gender thing, but let's just say I agree.
Because of the nigga. Period. Like, and when it's functioning correctly, that's the way it is. So on that note, dick is a gift. It's a gift. It's a gift.
All right, so I assume this is the end of it, right?
Yeah, it's like pretty much the end of it.
Okay. So what's your overall message that you want to give to people when they see this trailer?
Right. So basically the Game Kings documentary, this first one is called The Definition of Game. And the reason why we came out with this is because when most people talk about game, they don't understand they don't understand it. They don't know what they're talking about. So like people are like, oh, this game stuff, you're playing games and games are for kids. And so we basically made this movie to let people know what it is so that people can learn what it is so that they can stop saying what it's not. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Right.
the crazy stuff about, you know, when it comes to this is that, and this is what confuses people is that because they don't understand it and they have their own preconceived notions about it, then that's when they actually are not able to step their game up. Because if you don't know what you're talking about or what you're getting into, then there's no way you can apply it. And so that's the reason why a lot of people have weak game, because they don't actually understand game, so then they can't apply it. You see what I mean?
Right.
So that's basically the main thing is like, okay, this documentary is basically to show people what it is so that they can understand it and then apply it to their lives. You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha. And so what do you think? Because you mentioned that people don't like understand game, and I think that people do get game misconstrued, right?
Right.
So I know for some people they think that game is an art of manipulation. I don't think that game is an art of manipulation. Again, this is just for me. What I think game is, and you can feel free to chime in here. But what I believe what game is being able to kind of have a certain wit and a certain confidence about yourself in all aspects of life, and really just being able to kind of connect the pieces and make all the pieces add up. Let's just say, for perfect example, let's say you have a job, and you have people at the job where you're assigned to a task, and people are possibly looking for you to maybe fail that task because they wanted that task. So being able to kind of maneuver yourself, get that task done, but also maybe utilize the help of some people on your team to get that task done. To me, I think that's game. I don't think that's necessarily manipulation. I think that it's actually more or less kind of having a smart strategy. So this way you keep your position in line, but also showing respect to their position as well.
Right. And that's in on top of that too, this is the thing I would say is that when it comes to understanding game, and it's simply this, and I break it down in the documentary too, right? The simplest way I can say it is game is a strategy for you to get what you want. That's like the simplest way I can put it, right? Now, the when you go deeper into it, what it really is you understanding what it is you actually want so that you can get that thing. The problem is that sometimes people are getting things that or I should say this, sometimes people are getting things and the things they get aren't really what they want, but it looks like what they want. You see what I mean? And so, for example, let's say, I'll give you an example again. Let's say the guy is dealing with a girl he really likes, but she's not really into him. She's just using him for, like, I don't know, he has a nice car or something like that, right? So he thinks he's getting a girl that actually likes him, but she just likes him for his car. Now that's weak game, meaning that that's your strategy is your car to get the girl, but it's weak because what you really want is a girl who likes you, not your car. You see what I'm saying? Now, strong game would be you get a girl who actually likes you, regardless if you have a car or not, right? So this is why I said you got to sort of figure out what it is you actually want and then go get that and not get it misconstrued and get it jumbled up. And then that's when you get confused. You see what I'm saying? And this is why I said in the documentary, I said, everybody has game. All game is a strategy to get what you want. And whether or not your strategy works or not, that's going to determine how strong your game is. But you can't not have game, because anything that you're doing involves game, because anything you're doing is a strategy to do something to get to a certain point. So even, for example, as silly as this might sound, right? Making a bowl of cereal you still need game for that. What is your strategy? I got to get the bowl. I got to get the cereal. I got to get the milk I want. I got to pour it in the, you see what I'm saying? Like you do that all the time, but you don't think about it like that. Same thing for if you're getting a job. Your strategy is, let me why is it when people go to a job interview, they wear a suit or they dress up versus going in, with jeans and sneakers? It's because the strategy to get that job usually implies, let me put on a suit or let me put on something that looks like this before I go into the interview, right? So that's the strategy to get hired. You see what I mean? That's game. So all it is a strategy. The problem is that when you don't have awareness of what's going on, then you don't know how to apply yourself within your strategy to get it. So if I didn't know how to get a job, let's say I might show up to the job with a baseball cap and backwards and some gold chains and be just like, what up? And someone's gonna look at me like, bruh, you know, you in the suit. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing, to understand what it is, what you got to do, and in order to make it happen. You see what I mean?
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So tell me about the tell me about the Bad Boy membership. And then I'm gonna just share my screen again here. All right, so let me know when you're able to see it.
Oh yeah, this is on there.
Okay, cool. So let me just kind of read a little bit of the mission statement here. So it just says, are you sick of how annoying it is to attract women? You've probably read articles or seen videos about attracting women. You have heard to use pickup lines or act like someone you're not, or act like a jerk. You will never be able to get a woman to sleep with you, and you're probably starting to realize that these are all lies. Okay. Kind of goes into what we were talking about as far as like with like the manipulation, being a jerk or whatever the case is, so I think this is a clear cut answer, or I don't want to say cut answer, but the thing is that it's clear that some people think that game, if you will, is some of the things that are mentioned here in this beginning of your mission statement. What say you?
Right. And this is the thing, it's interesting when we talk about manipulation, because manipulation can also be a part of someone's game, but it's weak game. Because what happens is that manipulation always brings you something that you're not really trying to get. Or so for example, let's say if I lie to a girl to get her, right? Let's say I do get her and I get her on a date or whatever it is, right? She's only on the date with me because of the lie. She's not on the date with me because of me. So now if I'm really interested in this woman, right, I've already lost, because she's not with me because of who I am. She's with me because of the lie. So manipulation always is going to bring you something else that's not real, because you were not being real. So this is why with the membership, the Bad Boy membership and all that, it talks about how to be your most authentic self so that you can get what you actually want. You see what I'm saying? And that's basically what I teach. And this is the thing with game too, and I talk about this on the sales page, is that game is about consistency. And so just like, for example, a person who wants to, let's say a person who's fit and who has muscles and who wants to maintain those muscles, the only way they maintain the muscles, they got to keep going to the gym. They got to keep eating right, and it has to become their lifestyle. So the lifestyle is the thing that keeps you getting all of the things that you want in your situation. So even, for example, if you want to get married, right, and you want to have a wife that loves you and that respects you and that's attracted to you on a consistent basis, you have to consistently be that man that she loves, respects, and is attracted to. But as soon as you drop the ball, then that's when everything is going to fall to the wayside. So everything when it comes to game and keeping things up and keeping things maintained all come to consistency. And that's why even on the sales page, I talk about, practicing the game on a consistent basis, because the consistency is a thing that keeps things on the up and up. It's just like, for example, like, you brush your teeth every morning or every night. That's consistency. Now, if you stop brushing your teeth, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going to happen to your teeth? You see what I mean? It's the same thing.
They're going to turn yellow, rot, your breath going to stink.
Exactly. Right. So what happens is that, and even this is the crazy part that happens. The reason why women seem so assertive and aggressive nowadays is because men have become more passive and weak, right? So now there always has to be a balance. So somebody has to be more in the masculine and somebody has to be more in the feminine. Most women nowadays, especially in the Western world, are in their masculine, right? because when they're dealing with men, the men are in their feminine. And then so therefore you're going to have that sort of back and forth because
Yang, right?
the ball. Right, exactly. And so so men have become weak because men have given up, and therefore that weakness just, it just goes down like that. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you that in today's modern society, most men are weak. I think that most men. I think that well, a couple of reasons. I think most men are weak because that they are afraid to be masculine. Because of how liberal the society is in the West, right? And then another thing is that you have men, and this is not an excuse, but the thing is you have men that have been raised in single parent homes, or typically the father is not necessarily a masculine male, so you don't have the role models, because you see in the news where men are deleting themselves, or they just delete go to schools and start deleting random people, and then you find out about their background, either single parent home, or their father was a beta male, right? So, but because typically when you have men, and I'm not saying that all men, right, because the dead clock is right twice a day, but what I will say that in most cases when men have masculine male figures, they typically turn out fine, and they're not going to delete themselves or delete a bunch of random people or whatever the case is. You know what I mean?
Right. And also the reason why dudes are deleting themselves is because it's a value thing, meaning like when you see value in something, usually what'll happen is that you want to preserve it, take care of it. Right. So if you see value in yourself, you're going to want to preserve yourself. You want to take care of yourself. You want to make sure you're good because you see value in who you are and what you're about. And so it's just like, like if you go in somebody's house, sometimes they tell you take off the shoes before you walk on the carpet because they value the carpet. They value their space. And this is why they're making sure that you're treating their space correctly. So you're going to treat yourself correctly the more you value yourself. So these guys deleting themselves is directly correlated to them not seeing value in themselves. And this is why game is so important, because game makes you see value in you, because you focus on you and you focus on who you are, what you're about, so that you can actually attract. You understand? So a lot of times what happens is that because these guys don't see value in themselves, then others don't see value in them. And then that reinforces their own mind of them not feeling valuable, and then it's unfortunate that happens where guys end up, being that way. It sucks.